welcome back. This is your man Warrior. This is another patron roster review. This is Rule of Two. What's up? Rule of Two is from Womp Rat Lives Matter. That's right. We got to care about the Womp Rats too. All right. All he's really asked about is the Heroic AAT Phase 3. Specifically, he's struggling with finding a good team for the Phase 3. And then, of course, territory battles are now all the rave. Everybody wants to know what teams are going to be great for the territory battles. And most of the teams that are good for territory battles are good for the Heroic AAT. So they're kind of mixed in one. Now, he is pay to play. He's a whale. He's been playing well over a year. And he's okay with this going public. So we're going to go ahead and put this on my channel. Now let's get started. So the first thing I think of when I think of Phase 3 is Thrawn. He brought a new level of damage capability into Phase 3. Unfortunately, you do not have Thrawn at 7 stars. It doesn't even look like you have him unlocked. So unfortunately for you, you're not going to be able to use Thrawn in Phase 3 yet. But when you unlock him, and I'm confident you will unlock him the next time around, sometime in the next couple of months, you will incorporate him into this team. The first person you're going to use in this team that I'm going to suggest is your Chief Chirpa. And just like you have him, all you need him for is his leadership ability. You don't need him for any other reason. He doesn't even have to be durable. You're going to be creating a loop with these characters and the damage they deal. And so really, Chief Chirpa is there simply to provide an ability to the team as a whole. And even if he dies, that doesn't matter. So Chief Chirpa is your first. Number 2 is going to be Emperor Palpatine. Now, Emperor Palpatine needs to be fast, and he needs to be potent. Unfortunately, your Emperor Palpatine is not very fast, and his potency is in excess of what you need. You only really need about 80-85% potency, if that. So it's not that critical to have it up near 98% or near 100%. So way I would remod him if I'm looking at him is you want to get him a little bit faster if you can find as many speed secondaries as possible. And then also on this plus, this potency right here, 21%, is really unnecessary. It would take you down to about 80% or so by taking this off, somewhere in that ballpark, and that would still be sufficient to land his debuffs. So I would definitely put an offense cross in here so that way you can get more base damage every time he goes off, because he's one of your main damage dealers. Until you get Thrawn unlocked into 7 stars and geared up, the next one I would suggest is TIE Fighter Pilot. TIE Fighter Pilot can take a ton of turns, and he is really fast and really powerful. Now, because of this team and Emperor Palpatine going off nonstop, you may find that TIE Fighter Pilot is really unnecessary and that you don't get to use him a whole lot if you do it right with Chirpa as the lead and Emperor Palpatine. So if that's the case, you can choose to go with 2 tanks, and I would recommend Royal Guard as one of your tanks, which you have, and then you could use other tanks such as Stormtrooper Han, Royal Guard, and you could even bring in Tebow if you'd like for a little bit of turn meter reduction. With him in stealth and him being tanky, he is an alternate viable character. At the end, your Phase 3 team will look like having Chirpa as the lead, a fast and powerful offensive Emperor Palpatine that's potent, Sunfac, Royal Guard, TIE Fighter Pilot, any of those would work, but Sunfac is currently not starred up enough quite yet to use him, and you do not have Thrawn unlocked. So short term and long term, that's the difference. You'll definitely want to start focusing on these characters. Shore Trooper is also another viable tank, but again, he's only 5 stars for you for now. So Sunfac and Shore Trooper currently out. Again, I would use currently Tebow, Royal Guard, and Stormtrooper Han for this team. Now let's move into territory battles / Heroic AAT, specifically territory battles, and what teams you should be focused on to excel in the territory battles. Like some of my other reviews, I am going to be recommending clones, especially when you already have them maxed. They're a light side team, they're one of the top 5, and they are going to do great, just like in Heroic AAT, in the territory battles. Now, you will want to use all 5 of your clones for the best synergy. I wouldn't put Leia with them when you're running them in territory battles, as you'll need each one of their abilities to complete the 6 phases of each battle that you do. But your clones look phenomenal, so let's put a check mark by them and move to the next. Next team I suggest is the Phoenix Squad, and really the two that I see that are the most important, and this did take me by surprise, but it's Zeb and Chopper with their ability to regenerate health and protection. Chopper was an absolute all-star. I had no idea his phenomenal kit. I'd reviewed it, I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it would be better than Sabine's. But after having used Sabine through the first few rounds, I realized her extra damage was really unnecessary with Ezra being so leveled up. So what you'll want to do is build the team with Hera as the leader, make sure you Omega her leadership ability, and then put in Ezra, Zeb, Kanan, and Chopper, which those are the 5 that you have 7 stars, and then gear up your Zeb and Chopper. Make sure that you put at a minimum an Omega on all of their uniques, since they will be sharing those uniques. I wouldn't worry any more about Sabine. Maybe farm her up if you want, but I would not worry about her. Really, all of the focused energy should be going to Chopper and Zeb to get them up and make them more viable. Of course, we know there's a Rogue One squad, just like Phoenix Squad, required for territory battles, so I would definitely focus on Rogue One. You do have Jyn Erso, that's great. You do have Trit and Baze, that's awesome. But I would recommend that you focus on your K2SO and Cassian. Your K2SO 7 stars, gear 8. He's definitely got to get up a little bit higher. And then of course your Cassian is only a 5-star, gear 7, and his abilities are measly. So you're going to want to really focus on Cassian. He's going to be one of your highest priorities for farming and gearing over the next couple of weeks. And then try and focus on K2SO, getting his abilities leveled up, getting some decent mods on him, and getting him past gear 8, hopefully into the gear 9 by the time the next territory battles rolls around. Last but not least, for territory battles, we've gone over Clones, Phoenix, and Rogue One. I will say Resistance surprised the heck out of me. I have them, and I didn't think that they would be that powerful in the territory battles, but what do you know? They are amazing. They're going to help you not only with Galactic War each and every day, unlocking speed mods, being able to do really, really great in Heroic AAT Phase 2, but also now territory battles, they are going to be the MVP all-star team. They are literally the best light side team available. So you will definitely want to focus on the 5 to the right: Rey, Poe, Resistance, Pilot, Trooper, and Finn. Now, the one that you need the most, which is the key character and the most important, is Finn. He's 5 stars, level 7. You are going to want to finish him off, farm him as fast as possible. He needs to be your #1 farm right now for this team, and this team, the Resistance, is your #1 most important team. So Finn and Cassian both are going to need to be farmed, but Finn, it does take precedence if they conflict. Also, Finn, you're going to want to get a Zeta and save it, and when you are able to Zeta Finn, you desperately need to Zeta Finn, as he's not going to be nearly viable without that. The team is night and day between it, so you need to put a Zeta on Finn. Also, all of the characters are basically gear 7 or 8, other than Rey at 9. You really need to have this team at minimum gear 9 to do well in territory battles, and I would take them all the way, put every Omega on every character, because they have the ability to do additional exposes with all of those additional Omegas, and they have an ability to cleanse and to dispel, and so there's so many cool things this team can do. Make sure that you take it all the way to the max. Now, after all of that, your Clones, Phoenix, Resistance, and R1, you know who you should be gearing and who you should be farming. There is one character on the side, because you do have a decent Jedi team which you can use in the meantime during territory battles, and this character I think you should work on the side is none other than Ima-Gun Di. He's gear 9, 7-star, and his abilities are almost completely maxed out. Ima-Gun Di is one of the best leaders for the Jedi. He's a counter specialist, and so you can build a phenomenal Jedi counter team with him and Jedi Knight Anakin. You can even use Ezra, Ayla, Sakura, of course, Ahsoka. You could bring in Qui-Gon Jinn. Pretty amazing. You already have a great Jedi team, but Ima-Gun Di, of all of them that you have, would be one of those possibilities you may want to consider leveling up. So that's all I have for you. That's Heroic AAT team for Phase 3 that I think you should use. And those are the territory battle teams I think you should focus on. You've got your clones under wrap. Finish Chopper and Zeb. Zeta Finn. You need to farm Finn. Farm and gear Cassian. Gear up K2SO. And on the side, work with Imagun die. Otherwise, everything looks phenomenal. You're doing great. Rule of 2, keep your gaming on. Warrior, out.